I'm Zach, and I'm a long-term MOUD user. I was working at a gym. This was about 6 years ago. I was working at a gym. I was doing a lift, and I injured my back. I went to a doctor. I was able to get a prescription for an opiate, which I almost immediately started misusing. So in short time, I went from someone who had a job, a relationship, a family, happiness, peace, to none of that being there, a complete unravel. And it was almost night and day. It was almost like one day I woke up feeling on top of the world, being able to integrate this opiate into my life and still be successful, to a complete destruction of my life, night and day. MOUD has affected my life in a bunch of ways, positively. It's an anchor. It sustains me. It's something in my life that I consider to be a safety net. Because I have MOUD, and when I say MOUD, I take Sublocade. Because I have this medication, it enables me to think about everything else. Think about the important things in life. When I wake up in the morning, I feel safe, first of all. Second of all, I have tremendous good people in my life. I have tons of support. I have a challenging career. I have hope. I have vehicles. I have a home. I have many, many, many things that I can attribute to the constancy of MOUD. MOUD is debated in public. I think the skeptics of MOUD, I understand where they're coming from. It's usually a point of concern. They don't want somebody, their loved one, trading one medication for the other. What I can tell them is that MOUD, it actually bridges the gap of uncomfortability and fear. It helps bridge the gap between substance use and life. It bridges that gap. It's that important. It's that helpful in my life. It's something that if I can depend on the fact that I'm safe with this medication, then I can go ahead and live my life. And it's very effective, very, very effective. When I got into recovery, I didn't know about the MOUD stigma. So deciding to start MOUD, I didn't have that extra challenge of considering the stigma. Now that the public is more familiar with MOUD, it comes with the challenge of misunderstanding and stigma. And to put myself in the shoes of someone who wants to enter recovery, their own recovery pathway, but they are hesitant because of this stigma, because they themselves may not know that it's not some replacement, but it's indeed a safety net. They may not know that. To put myself in those shoes, I would say it makes it tremendously difficult. Perception is very important. So we're working to help change some of that perception, so it's not something that someone has to consider when they consider recovery. To help reduce stigma in our community, I would suggest talking to someone. Just talk to people who are on MOUD. They're amongst us. I'm one of them. They are in everyday daily life because their lives have opened up now because they have the stability that MOUD offers. I have returned to use twice in my life. The returning to use unfortunately, is part of the disease of substance use disorder. It's not a necessary element, but what I can say is that my return to use occurred after I stopped doing the things that I know worked for my recovery, after I stopped getting in touch with people, when I started isolating, when I started doing things on my own and not considering the people in my life. These are the hints that, for me anyway, that a return to use could happen, and it indeed happened. When I decided to enter recovery again, grace is what helped me to re-enter my recovery. Once I re-entered my recovery, the immediate support, the feeling understood, meeting amazing people, and MOUD all helped me to sustain my recovery path, my current recovery path, which is coming up on 6 years, which is the longest I've ever done anything, let alone being sober. So if you had asked the old me who was hopeless, truly hopeless, if the life I currently live is even possible, I wouldn't believe you. But I'm a success story, and part of that success is because of MOUD. I know it, and I know that whoever's watching this right now, that one person who feels that hopeless, MOUD it changed my life.